Hello everyone. I'm Donna. Today I have brought you the second part of the thrilling story. Bobby's skin has become pale and thin. Her eyes seem brighter, almost glowing in the dark. Her voice carries an unnatural calm that terrifies God more than shouting ever could. But the most frightening thing is this. Bobby believes everything happening is wonderful. She speaks about the ship as if it is a gift, a doorway to evolution. She claims humanity has always been limited, weak, emotional, violent. The ship can fix that. It can make people smarter, better, permanent. God realizes the truth before she does. The ship is not improving them. It is hollowing them out. Every invention, every burst of intelligence, every new ability comes at the cost of memory, emotion, individuality, and eventually life itself. The townspeople are becoming copies of the species that once controlled the spacecraft. And the original species is long dead. As the transformation spreads, horrifying accidents begin occurring across Haven. A child builds a deadly weapon from household appliances without understanding the danger. A man constructs a device capable of reading minds. Pets mutate into aggressive, unnatural creatures. One invention even allows communication over impossible distances. The townspeople celebrate these achievements proudly. But each success pushes them further away from humanity. Meanwhile, outside Haven, people begin noticing that something is terribly wrong. Government agencies intercept strange electrical signals coming from the region. Nearby towns experience blackouts. Reports spread of missing travelers who entered Haven and never returned. Authorities send investigators. Most never come back. Those who do return seem confused, sick, unable to explain what they witnessed. The town is becoming isolated from the rest of the world. Like an infection sealing itself off before spreading. God struggles to resist the growing influence of the ship. Even with the metal plate protecting him, he can hear whispers at night. Thoughts that are not his own. Dig deeper. Join us. Become more. Sometimes he catches himself staring toward the woods without realizing how long he has been standing there. The ship is learning him. Studying him. And somewhere deep underground, something ancient is becoming aware that resistance still exists. Then God uncovers one of the most horrifying truths yet. The aliens who built the spacecraft did not simply die in an accident. Their civilization destroyed itself. Consumed by the same technology that now infects Haven. The ship carries not only their knowledge, but their final corruption. It is a plague disguised as progress. Bobby refuses to believe him. Despite her physical decay, she clings desperately to the idea that the transformation has purpose. She argues that humanity fears change, that every scientific advancement once terrified people. But God can see the truth in her eyes. Part of her is still trapped inside herself. Frightened. Dying. The alien intelligence has not fully erased her yet. And that remaining piece of humanity is suffering. As tensions rise, the transformed townspeople begin preparing for something massive. The ship is nearly uncovered. Once fully exposed, it may reactivate completely. No one knows what will happen then. Maybe it will send a signal into space. Maybe it will spread the transformation beyond Haven. Or maybe it will simply consume everything nearby. God realizes there is only one option left. The ship must be destroyed. Even if it means killing everyone already connected to it. Including Bobby. Late one night, he enters the woods alone. The digging site stretches across the forest like an open wound in the earth. Massive sections of metal emerge from the ground, covered in strange markings that shift under flashlight beams. The closer God gets, the worse the pressure becomes inside his skull. The ship knows he is there. Voices flood his mind. Thousands of whispers overlapping into one unbearable scream. And then he sees them. The people of Haven standing silently around the excavation site. Watching him. Waiting. Not angry. Not emotional. Just empty. Like puppets waiting for instructions. Bobby steps forward from the crowd. For a brief moment, God sees the old Bobby return. Fear flashes across her face. Humanity. Regret. She tells him to leave before it is too late. But behind her words, another voice seems to speak through her. Cold. Ancient. Hungry. God understands then that the battle is already lost for most of the town. This is no longer about saving Haven. It is about stopping the infection from escaping it. Using explosives and desperate improvisation, God launches a final attempt to destroy the spacecraft. Chaos erupts instantly. The transformed townspeople attack him with terrifying coordination. Strange machines fire deadly bursts of energy. The ground trembles as the ship begins responding violently beneath the earth. And throughout all of it, the whispers become deafening. The ship is awake. Fully awake. In the final moments, Bobby makes her choice. Some hidden fragment of her humanity resurfaces long enough to help God complete the destruction. Together, they trigger an explosion powerful enough to tear through the buried spacecraft. The forest erupts in fire and collapsing earth. A blinding light bursts from beneath Haven. Then silence. By morning, much of the town lies destroyed. The surviving residents are confused, sick, unable to fully remember what happened to them. Government officials arrive quickly, sealing off the area and hiding the truth from the outside world. Officially, the disaster becomes just another unexplained tragedy. But God knows better. Because even after the ship is destroyed, he still hears faint whispers sometimes. At night. In dreams. Calling from somewhere far below the ground. Waiting for someone else to listen. Tommyknockers. Tommyknockers. Knocking at the door. Weeks after the destruction of Haven, the world moves on. News reports describe the disaster as an industrial accident mixed with toxic contamination. Officials block roads leading into the town. Reporters disappear from the story almost overnight. Soon, people stop asking questions. But for the survivors, nothing is over. God drifts from place to place, unable to escape the memories of Haven. His body is exhausted, weakened by alcohol, injuries, and the psychic pressure left behind by the spacecraft. Yet the worst damage is inside his mind. Sometimes he wakes in the middle of the night hearing machinery humming in complete silence. Sometimes he sees flashes of green light in empty rooms. And sometimes he hears voices. Not loud anymore. Just faint whispers buried beneath ordinary sounds. At first he believes it is trauma. Hallucinations. The aftermath of everything he endured. But then strange things begin happening again. Electrical devices malfunction around him. Radios turn on without power. Broken objects briefly start working when he touches them. The ship may be gone, but traces of it survived. Not only in the ground, inside people. Across America, a few former residents of Haven attempt to rebuild normal lives. Yet none of them are truly normal anymore. Some possess fragments of impossible knowledge they cannot explain. Others suffer blackouts filled with disturbing dreams of endless metal corridors and dying alien voices echoing through darkness. One former resident sketches the same strange symbol over and over without understanding why. Another becomes obsessed with building tiny machines from junk parts. The infection did not fully disappear. It scattered. Like embers after a fire. Meanwhile, hidden government agencies quietly collect everything recovered from Haven. Fragments of metal. Burned machinery. Pieces of inventions created by the townspeople. Scientists study the materials in secret laboratories. Most believe the danger ended with the explosion. A few are not so certain. Because some of the recovered devices still function. Even without power. Even after being destroyed. And one machine in particular begins transmitting signals no one can decode. Signals aimed not at Earth, but deep into space. Far beyond the solar system. Far beyond human understanding. God eventually realizes the terrifying possibility the townspeople never understood. The spacecraft may never have intended to leave Haven. It may have been a beacon. A buried transmitter designed to slowly reshape intelligent life until it became compatible with something else. Something coming later. Something still out there. This realization destroys what little peace he had left. Because if the ship sent a signal before its destruction, Someone may answer. As months pass, survivors continue experiencing moments of connection. Brief flashes where they can sense one another's thoughts across impossible distances. The alien intelligence is weaker now, fractured and fading, but not dead. Never completely dead. One night, Guard receives a call from a former Haven resident living hundreds of miles away. The man is terrified. He says he woke to find himself building something in his garage while sleepwalking. He doesn't understand how it works. He only knows he suddenly felt compelled to create it. Before Guard can ask questions, the phone line fills with harsh static. And underneath the static, a familiar humming sound. The same sound the ship once made beneath Haven. The call cuts off. Guard drives through the night to reach him. But when he arrives, the garage is empty. The man is gone. Only the machine remains. Half finished. Glowing faintly in the dark. Guard finally understands the true horror of the Tommyknockers. The danger was never just one spaceship buried beneath a town. It was the idea itself. The temptation. The promise of power, intelligence, and evolution at any cost. The alien force succeeded because people wanted what it offered. They welcomed it willingly, and somewhere in the universe, countless other worlds may have done the same. The story ends not with victory, but with uncertainty. Haven is gone. Bobby is gone. The spacecraft is destroyed. Yet the whispers remain. Tiny fragments scattered among survivors, hidden laboratories, forgotten inventions, and damaged minds. Seeds waiting for the right conditions to grow again. And far out in the darkness of space, something may already be moving toward Earth, drawn by a signal humanity never meant to answer. Tommyknockers. Tommyknockers. Still knocking.